Jim Emery.
Despite loose feelings about the tipster role and Toby moving on and Roman and Vitaly moving on, there still is a Toastmasters world, and Pathways is it. Of all of the presentations you've heard on Pathways and have learned how to select your path, this is another one. So I hope you enjoyed it. That was supposed to be a joke. It's a joke. So I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to try to make this mellifluous rapidity for Lou's sake. Let's move right to it. You want to pick a path for Pathways. How do you do it? The way Toastmasters wants you to do it is go to their website. Take the Pathways assessment. You'll get 24 questions of things like, I get nervous in group discussions, or I make friends really easily. And you'll be able to say, I disagree, or I agree with that. And when you're all done with the 24 questions, you get this marvelous little thing at the end that says, here's the paths that are recommended for you. And there's the one big one, and there's two little ones, and if you already are in Pathways, one of those will be blocked out. This is really good if you trust that some programmer and some bureaucrat in Toastmasters headquarters can put together a questionnaire of general questions that will then give you the path that will address exactly what you need. Didn't work for me. I don't particularly recommend it, but if this works for you, go for it. This one, I won't even waste time on. It's a chart I found that says, oh, these are the skills you get out of all 11 paths, and they're made up of funny little general words like management, which don't tell you much either. So here's where I'm going to go for, this may be some help. I found, and I emailed all of the members here a handout. I found a complete description of every one of the 11 paths. You'll notice that it's got all kinds of detail on it. If you really want to know what a path is about, look at these charts. If you don't know where the charts are, go back to your email and find the email from me. I'll show you kind of what's important. There's a description at the top. Okay, that'll give you some idea what the path is about. Underneath that, you'll see there are 5 levels in every path. There are mandatory projects. Those are the top ones here in each of those levels, and there are electives on the bottom. Those electives are pretty intimidating. Look at how many of them there are. I'll give you a dirty little secret. Every one of those electives is available in every one of the paths. And they are identical. They use the same document and project description. So if you're trying to decide between paths, this is interesting but irrelevant in terms of discriminating. So the only thing that's really going to help you is to look at the mandatory projects up in levels 3, 4, and 5. You'll notice I didn't circle 1 at all because 1 is also identical in every path. So look at this one. If in Presentation Mastery, level 3, Persuasive Speaking is a project, level 4, Managing a Difficult Audience, and so on, and compare those mandatory projects in each of the 11 paths, and that's how you're going to make your decision. Now, that will work for most people, I think, but all you have is a title of these projects, right? So if you really want to know, so what's that project about, go to this page, and this again is in the handouts that I emailed you. You'll see it's a District 4 website that has a nice little thing where you can select a path, you can select a level, and you can select a project within that level, and you get a nice little description here that shows exactly what's in that project. You can read that. You'll get a much better handle for what the project is, and this plus the other chart I think will give you what you need to select your optimum path. So go to your email, find that handout. One last thing, every project has a big long project description once you get into the path that you get to see. It's typically 15 to 16 pages long. If you really want to know about the projects, this is where the meat is. Unfortunately, you can't get this until you get into the path, and you can't get into the path until you've already selected it. So what I am doing for this club is a little project that you're not allowed to tell anyone outside of the club, is I'm assembling a PDF of every one of these. And I need your help if you're in a different path than the path I'm in, because a few of those mandatory ones I can't get because they're not in my path. I have all the electives already, and I have all the mandatory ones in my path. If you can help me get the rest, we will have a collective set. We can decide as a club what we want to do with that. There's lots of political and economic reasons why Toastmasters may not want us to spread that around, but hush, hush. PowerTalk doesn't always play by the rules. And Toastmasters.